What's up, guys? It's your boy, Nye, and welcome to another episode of What is Crypto? Today, I have a very special guest on the line, Jake Greenbaum, founder of Pocket Nodes, and we are actually doing a What is Crypto exclusive. We are diving into what is a masternode, why are they important, how do they work, and how can his product, Pocket Nodes, simplify the way people use masternodes. Now, we have a really good discussion here. We sat down and we really dove into all the aspects around masternodes, whether they're still relevant now in 2019, going into 2020, and why they are important for the ecosystem of crypto as a whole. So guys, if you have any questions about this, you can go over to pocketnodes.com. You can learn about it there, and you can also reach out to Jake or I on Twitter or Telegram or Facebook to ask us any questions. Let's get into the episode now. Pocket Nodes founder Jake Greenbaum, one of my really good friends. Jake, how you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. Thanks, Michael.
No worries, man. Today we're going to dive in and we're going to talk about running a node. Back in 2017, 2018, nodes were very, very hyped up. There was a lot of talk around what's going on with nodes, and things like Dash were very, very, very popular back in the day. So we want to dive in, talk about whether these things are still relevant, why people should run nodes, if they should, how does this whole system work, and all that good stuff.
Sounds great. Very excited.
Awesome, man. So let's first start off by asking, what is a node?
A node is pretty simple. It's basically a computer that plays a role in a coin's network. It holds the network together as far as the integrity goes.
And when you say it plays a role in the network, what does that mean?
So a masternode specifically is a staking mechanism, and it's also used for voting. Basically what it's used for is you accumulate a certain number of coins. Dash, for example, is 1,000 Dash. You acquire 1,000 Dash, and then you deposit it into a masternode. From that point, you're allowed to vote within the community. You can participate in Dash when they have voting structures, when you want to propose something for the community to actually do. And as far as staking, you get a return. The return is the most important factor because individuals are concerned with the percentage that you yield in Dash or Pivx or Ion or Anon or any of the masternode coins that are hosted on Pocket Nodes. So it serves two purposes. It serves a purpose of being able to actually support the network, being able to actually earn a staking return, and being able to interact with the network, which is part of the actual supporting of the network. A masternode has multiple functions, but one of the main functions is the governance function, the staking ability, and maintaining the coin's entire ledger in real time. A coin's ledger is, in essence, the history of the token. So from the first transaction, from when the tokens were minted to the coins you're currently looking at, it's completely transparent. So a masternode is a very important mechanism in a protocol because it provides staking, which is a return for the user, governance and community interaction, which lets the user or the coin holder interact with the protocol. And on top of it, it provides the entire history and transparency, which is one of the most important features of both masternodes and the cryptocurrency system.
That's awesome. And this is kind of going along the lines of proof of stake versus proof of work argument and things like that. As we've seen, there's many maximalists that only believe in proof of work, and then there's also many people that only believe in proof of stake, and they see that that's the future. What's your opinion on that kind of subject?
I don't think it's really A or B. Just like there are a group of individuals who specialize in mining, there are individuals who like to stake. Mining is using your computer hashing rate to generate new currency. Staking is using your ability to possess currency to create new currency. So there's an argument with which is better. Both yield new currency and both support the network overall. It's just, do you want to interact with the network through mining it? Or do you want to interact through it through a governance mechanism that supports a actual staking feature that you earn a return on? So proof of work versus proof of stake, I don't think it's necessarily A or B. It's what do you want to focus on as an investor? And I'd recommend being diversified and taking part in both.
Awesome. And we saw a big popularity with nodes, especially in 2017, 2018. People were very, very hyped up around Dash nodes and things like that. Are nodes still popular? Are they big? Are people still running them? What's going on with them now?
Yes, I think in the last few months, staking has taken off again. As you can see from Binance and a lot of the big exchanges, they've started to introduce staking of the main currencies. So, what Pocketnode is focusing on isn't necessarily the biggest communities, but it's the up and coming currencies, the coins that are yielding not the 5 or 6% annually, but the 40 to 100% annually in the coin's underlying currency. So, Pocketnode is focusing on more unique coins, ones that haven't really popped yet, that are producing higher returns because there's less masternodes of them actually set up. So as far as what's staking doing right now in the community, I think it's really taking off. Otherwise, there'd be no reason for all the exchanges to be integrating it right now. So as far as what Pocketnode does is an exchange isn't necessarily mobile. If you want to possess your private keys, if you want to own your coins, if you want to actually set up the masternode with one click without having to set up VPNs and all the crazy stuff you have to do to set up a masternode, then Pocketnode is your solution.
Awesome. And I want to get into that a little bit more as we kind of move towards the discussion of like, how do these things work? Before we get into pocket nodes, like, how do you traditionally run a node? What's the process of the traditional method of running a node?
Well, a node requires a certain amount of disk size depending on what the actual currency is and how big the ledger, the history of the currency's transaction are. So you need a certain amount of disk size on your computer. You need the ability to code. You need separate servers depending on which masternode coins you're trying to stake, and you need computing power. Beyond those things, it's a tedious process to actually monitor the entire setup, and it requires maintenance. So unless you're a dev, it's very hard to maintain. It's not like crypto trading, or it's not like being able to just jump online and see it happen. With Pocketnode, it makes it one click. So your standard model, you have to have disk size, coding abilities, servers, computing power, all of that. With Pocketnode, you don't need any of that. You just have to acquire the underlying currency.
And what are some of the problems that you guys are solving with Pocket Node? I know that I've tried to set up one master node before. I think it was like of a smart master node or something like that. And it was just complicated, man, trying to set up VPNs or something like that. I can't even remember what the whole thing was, but it was complicated. There was a lot of different steps that I didn't know how to do. So tell us a little bit about the problems that you guys are solving with Pocket Nodes.
The biggest problem, is the majority of people in crypto, whether they're in it for speculative reasons, they're in it because they believe in the revolution of the financial system, whatever the reason is, most aren't developers. And not being developers, the basic premise of having to code your masternode so it functions on your computer, they can't do. So Pocketnode solves the most simple of the functions by making it one click. Another major issue is individuals like to hold more than one coin. You're either a Bitcoin maximalist or you like lots of altcoins. Well, if you're in the lots of altcoins category, then you don't want one masternode, you want three, four, or five masternodes. Well, that would take up all your disk space on your computer. So what Pocketnodes has done is we've acquired the disk space, we've acquired the servers, we've acquired all of those things to offload that burden from the individual, the maintenance burden, the coding burden, onto ourselves. And so we put the masternode literally in your pocket while providing the one-click setup.
That's awesome. And what kind of master nodes do you guys support right now?
Everything from Dash to Ion to Pivx to Anon. We had DME on there, but unfortunately they switched their staking mechanism. And we're adding a bunch new coins once our IEO completes the first quarter of 2020.
Nice. Tell us a little bit more about the IEO and what's going on with that and the whole process that you've got behind that right now.
So currently the IEO is occurring on Probit. Probit's based out of Korea, which has one of the largest active trading communities and individuals still interested in IEOs. Once the IEO completes, we're very excited to begin a trading competition where we'll be giving away over 1 million node to individuals who participate in the trading competition on Probit. And then after that, we are onboarding new cryptocurrencies for the actual Pocketnode app. We're releasing our iOS application and our desktop application. So you'll be able to have your node, your masternodes, your coins anywhere you go on any of your platforms. And right now, you can actually maintain your private keys. So most importantly, you don't ever lose possession of your tokens.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And how does Pocket Nodes innovate for the future of crypto and crypto innovation? What role do you see Pocket Nodes as well as these master nodes playing over the next 1 to 5 years in the crypto space?
In the crypto space, I think what is missing regarding innovation is adoption. Everyone says adoption, 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 but adoption cannot happen until simplicity occurs. People don't want to actually have to learn how to code to interact with cryptocurrencies. They want it to be as simple as possible. And what PocketNode does for crypto adoption is it simplifies it. If you want to have a holding of your coin, any one of these slew of cryptocurrencies that earn a staking return while allowing you to participate in the governance of the underlying coin, you can stake on PocketNode one click. So as far as the future of cryptocurrency goes, we're facilitating the ease, the fluidity of cryptocurrency. And without the ease and the simplicity, doesn't come the actual adoption. So I think PocketNode is solving a very important issue in cryptocurrency, facilitating both adoption and the ability to stake on the go.
I love it, man. And the final question that I have for you is off the topics of masternodes, but how do you think the people are going to use cryptocurrency in the future, as well as how are they using it now?
I think right now cryptocurrency is more of a speculative asset. No one quite knows what the price of Bitcoin is going to be today, tomorrow, a year from now, 10 years from now. People aren't even quite sure what quantum computing is going to do to cryptocurrencies as a whole. So, as far as cryptocurrencies, I'm very bullish in the short and long term because I believe the financial system needs correction. And I believe cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin included, being the predominant player, will facilitate the financial revolution. So I think cryptocurrencies are very, very important. But I think it should be very, very well known also that most projects, most new startups, they fail. So the fact that 90% of cryptocurrencies fail is not surprising in my eyes. I look at that and I think that's very standard. People who start New Year's revolutions, most of them fail by February. So the fact that most currencies have failed doesn't mean that cryptocurrency is a bad thing. It means it's following the protocol of failure. Without failure doesn't come success. So you have to fail a couple times before you succeed. And I think that's what people don't understand about crypto because they're expecting if you buy Bitcoin, it should automatically go up. Well, that's not necessarily the case, but it may go up eventually. And that's what you have to understand. It's the fluctuating in the asset, it's the failure and then the success. Most people don't understand the swings.
I love it, man. Thank you for coming on the show and making this special episode of What is Crypto?
Of course.
All right, guys, thank you for diving into the What is Crypto exclusive episode with Pocket Nodes. I really think this was a fun episode. We talked a little bit about the importance of masternodes and dove into the struggles that I've faced with masternodes as well as things that Jake faced, which is why he decided to create Pocket Nodes. I tried to create a masternode one time, guys, and I got through step 1 or step 2, pretty much bought the coins and then tried to figure out how to set it up and got really lost. I got invited to a Discord where people are like, I can help you set up that masternode. We can make it work. And it was just too hard for me to even follow up because I just personally didn't care about it enough to follow up. So having something like Jake created, I think is very valuable to people that are interested in masternodes, be able to jump on, click it, one button, and boom, you're done. You're ready to go. Your masternode is set up and live. I think that's absolutely really cool. So guys, go check out Pocket Nodes and also give us a rating, give us a review, give us a like on iTunes. I'd really, really appreciate it. And guys, thank you for always listening to the What is Crypto podcast.